Okay, so as you can see, I'm not Monica from McCann. She is on her way, and when she does arrive, we're going to seamlessly swap me over for her, so you won't notice a thing. In any case, I want to get this session open to the audience so we can get lots of questions and discussion here with Mike and Sarah. So I'm just going to do a provocation that Monica told me to say, which is we're in Macclesfield today. We're talking about attracting and retaining talent and how we're going to do that creatively. So when we open out to you, I just want you to think about what challenges are you facing out there with attracting and retaining talent. However, I do have Sarah and Mike here to give a brief overview on their take, and then we'll open it out to you. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Hello, I'll go first because I've got the PowerPoint. And I believe that you haven't, Mike. So we'll kick off with some pictures. Right, just to fess up, I'm from the other side. For 20 years, I worked for Leicester City Council and I retired in January. So I'm a new virgin heritage and culture consultant. But I am also a child of Macclesfield, and my family lived here through that first bit of the Industrial Revolution, and I actually also am from the other side, from Leek, which is, for those of you who know, it's about 12 miles away, and it's seriously cool these days. So this is really just to say a little bit, to fess up beforehand about the perspective that I've got on Macclesfield. So our subject that we're looking at in the next half hour is how do we attract and retain talent among digital creatives, and we've established that they are a crossover and that creatives are creatives and people are innovative and people are people, and it's just fantastic. So look, this is these seriously cool things that we've been doing in Leicester. So these are some pictures. This is our wonderful High Cross shopping development. So what are the things that are going to attract you to come and live and work in Macclesfield? Right, first of all, you need seriously good shopping. And it doesn't matter whether you're a creative or anybody, you really need good shops. And this is lovely, but that's got heritage in it as well. You need seriously good culture, and this is Curve. This is our theatre that we produced. It cost £60 million. A huge amount was funded by Arts Council England, and a huge amount was funded by Leicester City Council. It's been open for 10 years. Technically, it's got some fantastic digital stuff in it. There is a brilliant cultural strategy. Well, what is 25% of a cultural strategy? Answer, a cultural quarter. This was the platform. It's really stupid, isn't it? This is the platform of our cultural quarter, but next door to it, there is a digital media centre. And you would never have gone into that bit of Leicester before we built these things. It was the pits. It was old industry, and we're having to reinvent ourselves. And we've been doing that quite seriously in the last. So not only have you got fantastic modern buildings, and this one's by Raphael Vignoli, but you've got amazing, really old buildings. You've got old heritage as well. So you need that heritage story, and both of those things are equally important. This is our Roman wall, and we don't care if it is the second highest Roman structure in the UK, but it is an amazing piece of kit, and Leicester is the only city that is a modern industrial city that has got this heritage connection. Oh, look what's dropped. Something amazing has dropped. This is my visual aid, which I got from the Tourist Information Centre next door, and it says, "Keep calm and dream of Macclesfield." So the other things that you need if you are to attract talent are seriously really good universities, really good higher education establishments, if you're going to attract talent. And Macclesfield doesn't have a university, but what you have got is really good links with higher education and further education and a fantastic art school tradition. This is De Montfort University, and this is their huge building that the Arts and Design faculty that they just opened. It's called the Vijay Patel building, and it's got, you can see, look, it's got a big screen, and it's also got a wonderful gallery. And this is showing that all this sort of work takes an awfully long time to achieve. This is our other university in Leicester. This is the University of Leicester. This is the engineering building. And this is one of the most important brutalist, postmodernist buildings in the UK. It's Grade 2 star listed. It was built in 1963. It's just been renovated at a cost of £18 million. But it is still an amazing building, and it's really its moment. Right. What do you know about Leicester? Leicester. LCFC. We won the Premiership. The Siltmen don't win Premierships, but they're a pretty good team, and they're a great football club. And my granddad followed them religiously every week of his life. But you need, in a place, what are you going to attract people with? You need really great things to attract people. One of them is sport. We talked about the crossover between engineering and the arts, but the other big crossover is the crossover between sports and the arts and engineering. And sports is the way that we honour our bodies and we honour human existence and innovation and talent. And so sports is really important. When we do well in sports, and we've got all sorts, we've got rugby and football and cricket and all sorts, then university applications go up. The other things that we've got, now, my granddad, who followed the Siltmen religiously, also to him, Barnaby was just this lovely holiday that he had in June that some of us call Whit Week. It was a fantastic, it was a holiday. It was when we went to Colwyn Bay. But this is, Leicester does great festivals. This is Diwali. And we really pride ourselves on festivals. So all of these fantastic things, Treacle Market and Barnaby, and all the things that are happening in Macclesfield are fantastic. And this is our final USP. Now you can put your hand up if you know who he is. Look, you all know. Okay, who is he? Richard III, the king in the car park. And Richard III has been fantastic, but for Leicester and for the industry. We calculated that the economic value of Richard III within the first 12 months was about £60 million. And that has carried on. That was before the reinterment. And the football following on after Richard III, luck follows luck. And it was really good. So even The Guardian could get a handle on the front page of saying, the town that brought you Richard III is now delivered on the football. So, you know, the whole thing comes together. It's an amazing story. But finding Richard III was about, I reckon it was about 1,000 to 1. The chances of Leicester winning the Premiership were 50,000 to 1. But you've got to make luck happen. You've got to have this amazing USP. Macclesfield has got USPs, and again, if you go to the Tourist Information Centre, you can see, here's the Wizard of Alderley Edge, and you've got the Alan Garner stories, and so that's fantastic. Oh, that's all the pictures I've got for you. But really, the other things that I wanted to say, what are you going to attract talent to Macclesfield? What needs to happen? One of the things you need is people have got to feel that they really belong here. They feel proud of it. It's got to be a really great place for them. It's got to be the sort of place where they feel that they are valued and that people like them live there. If you're going to attract digital creators, it's pretty obvious you've got to have really good connectivity. You've got to have great broadband. I don't know what Macclesfield is like, but Derby and Leicester are okay. But you've got to have great broadband. Your mobile phones have not got to go down. You've got to be able to do all these amazing things, all this deep learning on your PCs. But you've also got to have a really great housing stock, and the houses in Macclesfield are lovely. And you've got to be somewhere where people want to be and look at those views. Macclesfield could be, it's got the potential to be absolutely fantastic as a place to live. Now I'm handing over to you.
I don't need that.
He doesn't need it. There you go. Keep calm and dream of Macclesfield. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You heard my piece earlier, really. Having a European capital of culture, that helps. Having a UK city of culture, that helps. Obviously, Hull did tremendously well last year, and it really needed it. Maybe Stoke is going to go back in the ring again. Maybe Leicesterville, who knows?
Leicester came second.
Having 2 football clubs, of course, is better than having 1. Everton and Liverpool, yeah? But really what I was going to say was something about the notion of host. So I'd like to use this opportunity to thank our hosts. It's been a great day and I've met some brilliant people. And what does it mean to be a host? It's an expression of power. It's great. I'm going to have a party in about 2 weeks. And if you come to my house, you get some free booze, some food, I have some music. Yeah, and no. Yeah. I can't afford to invite all of you. Yeah. Now, if I was in Ghana and this was my funeral, I would probably have to pay you to come to my funeral because time is money. So I'm going back to this idea about time and labour and the relationship between a host expressing power and being a guest. So today I'm a guest in this town. It's fantastic. And I hope that I'm a guest again in the future. But if we extend that, and I want to turn this into a question which all of you I hope will engage with, as to what makes you want to come. So I've lived in some rough and dirty places. I spent 12 years in Hull, I spent 10 years in Melbourne, Dundee and Cardiff and God knows what. But I've always had a great time. And I've had a great time because people have made me welcome. They've had great parties. Yeah, there's been good food and good booze. And obviously, a part of the Blue Dot Festival, was very much involved in setting up the Ann Festival, and we heard from Ruth earlier. Going to Blue Dot, that has obviously got some real traction as being a major attractor in this region. And that's not a bad kind of sign of having a party. Now, cheap housing would be very attractive if you're an artist. So if you can keep your business rates down, and you've got either cheap rent or cheap property, and maybe giving people a lot of license to do what they want could also work too, couldn't it? I was in Kreuzberg in Berlin over the weekend, and a number of my friends and colleagues who've moved there and are now moving out of there because they can no longer afford to live there. This is the Soho story of New York, and similarly of East London. So maybe the moment is where you can become an attractor as a suburb to Manchester and a suburb to Liverpool as the rents and property prices and business rates go up. That you've got something distinctive, that you are a free and easy place where you can do what you want. You've clearly got very beautiful environs and a gorgeous kind of pastoral natural landscape. And so you just have to sell that a bit. And then also, of course, the young people. Like we actually also, we could potentially have a childbirth issue in terms of dwindling populations and going back to one of the other points about the greying society. So intergenerational learning, how can we exploit that better? That's got to be part of the package.